back. All the latest as far as the upcoming state assembly elections in India is concerned. The Chief Election Commissioner announcing the dates for Assam, Puducherry, Kerala, Tamil Nadu and West Bengal. 5 states going to polls. Assam, Kerala and Puducherry going to polls on the 9th of April and Tamil Nadu going to polls on the 23rd of April. West Bengal, 2-phase polling. First on the 23rd of April and the second on the 29th of April. We have my colleague Gautam Shankar now joining us live from Bengaluru. Gautam, talk to us. Kerala is a state where the Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan is looking to make a hat trick. For now, it looks like it's going to be Pinarayi Vijayan all the way, but the fact of the matter is the opposition has been building fair bit, especially in the recent past.
Absolutely, Krishna. Right now, like you rightly pointed out, it's all about Pinarayi Vijayan. Will he get to complete a hat-trick, which is an unheard of feat in Kerala politics so far? And if he does, what does that mean for the UDF? What does that mean for the NDA? And that is the main issues that are revolving around this elections as well. And the timing itself, now that we know that the elections are going to take place on April 9th, now the timing is crucial here because keep in mind that right now, in the Supreme Court, the review petitions are being heard about women's entry to Sabrimala as well. And just a couple of days back, the ADF made a big U-turn saying that they are not really in favor of letting women enter Sabrimala, which is in stark contrast to the stand that they had taken in 2018. And that's one of the things that we're seeing. As the elections approach closer, we are seeing political changes happening within the 2 leading fronts as well. Now, while it for the Pinarayi Vijayan-led LDF, it's all about fighting of anti-incumbency. But for the UDF, it's also about matter of survival right now. Because keep in mind that, it's never happened in the history of Kerala where we've had 3 consecutive terms, but also internally within the party, there's a lot of rumblings happening right now. They do not really have a chief ministerial face, so they will be scrambling for that as well. There's also talk of possibly Shashi Tharoor throwing his hat into the ring to contest and also could possibly be a CM face of the UDF and the Congress is what is being said as well. And amidst all of this, we have to keep in mind that several of the MPs of the Congress are now expressing their interest to contest the MLA elections. They are not really keen to be in Delhi. They want to be in Kerala managing the local affairs there. So there are several headaches for the Congress right now, which they need to sort out before they can really put up a challenge for the LDF. But then coming to the NDA as well, they are quite on a positive run, if I could say so, because keep in mind that they ended a 45-year rule of the LDF in Thiruvananthapuram Corporation as well. So they have for the first time taken over the municipal body there in Thiruvananthapuram, which is no mean feat in the state of Kerala. And given the fact that Rajiv Chandrasekhar is now leading the party's charge in the state as well, they are coming out very strongly. And what we understand is that there were multiple rallies planned by PM Modi in the short period as well. We recently had seen him in Kochi as well, giving out a message of unity, saying that Pinarayi Vijayan is basically trying to divide Kerala, whereas we are bringing unity to the state and we are bringing progress, and that is why the name shift Keralam has also happened as well, which is something we the journalists will have to get used to as well very soon, Krishna.
Right, fair enough. Stay with us, Brijesh. The only state we haven't discussed so far, Kerala. Another state that the NDA has been, and when I say NDA, I mean the BJP, has been trying extremely hard, has found some kind of success, had Suresh Gopi as a single candidate, Gautam Shankar spoke about the recent victory in the Trivandrum, the mayoral polls as well. How much of an expectation can the BJP have this time around?
Well, I think, Kerala is one state where BJP and before that, RSS has been working very hard. The fabled, the violent clashes between the left and the right emanates maximum from the state of Kerala. And the fact of the matter is that BJP, nothing would please them, then getting a victory in Kerala and West Bengal. These are the 2 unconquered territory as far as BJP is concerned, and Kerala especially means more to BJP and RSS than any other state would be. The percentage-wise, there have been an upward swing, like as we're showing on graphics, it was 11.58 to be precise. But there's an upward swing, but not enough propulsion to get them a seat or something like that. So that's the reason why when mayoral poll they won, Prime Minister went there and praised everyone, and it's the only state where you get to see Tharoor being used to beat to beat the Congress with. So it's an extremely interesting election. BJP, I mean, it's not a force to reckon with as far as the entire state is concerned, but it'll be very interesting to see how it goes. But I personally feel that the UDF has a better chance this time than LDF as far as state of Kerala is concerned.
Okay, the UDF has a better chance. We have some special guests joining us, Brijesh. We have Nikhil, Jain, political analyst, and we also have Anurag Singh, Dikshit, political analyst, joining us. We still have Sabyasachi Roy with us as well. Sabyasachi, stay with us. Gautam, stay with us. Let me take this across first to Nikhil Jain, political analyst. Nikhil Jain, what do you make of the recent announcement by the Chief Election Commissioner? Two-phased polling in West Bengal.
Krishna, that indeed is surprising, as is the single-phase polling in Assam vis-a-vis the three-phase polling that we just saw 5 years ago. Along with that, I'd like to point out to your viewers, one thing that really baffles me as a citizen is the fact that the election commissioners of India are taking questions in batches of 5 and then not bothering to answer every single question that is being answered. I think the next time I am in a place...
Are you really going to grudge him that?
To answer difficult questions. I think this is a very good strategy that I must...
Nikhil, are you going to grudge him that with the kind of questions that was being asked?
No, but... Well, that's his job. That's his job to answer. I have to face so many difficult questions. I'm not even an official. I think he must answer as well.
Okay. Anurag Singh, Dikshit, your initial thoughts are, two single-phase polling in Assam and two twin-phase polling in West Bengal.
See, the same election commission has been saying for a long time that West Bengal's law and order is not good, and therefore they have to conduct 8-phase polls and 7-phase polls. So today, when we are seeing that the election commission announced that there would be a poll in 2 phases, that means obviously there is something which is which is developing in West Bengal, that means the law and order, or which was earlier said wrongly. The thing is, the biggest Assam is not a problem, Kerala is not the problem. The main periphery and the main concern is West Bengal. Because as we know, there has been SIR conducted in so many states. But Bengal was the only state where the judiciary was also involved to check the lists and to prepare the list, so to clear the adjudicated names. So there are many big questions which are yet to be answered, that whether the 50 lakhs pending adjudication cases would be cleared before the date of poll, or would be cleared before they got the right to exercise their power to vote. Point number 1. Point number 2, vote in 2 phases, which compared to the vote of the last time, which was in 8 phases, that obviously creates a question and a question mark on the contention and intention of the commission.
Sabyasachi, I hope you're listening to all the comments coming in on what's happening in West Bengal. Can you tell us, what is it like, when the date was announced? If you spoke to some people over there?
Well, see, Krishna, first of all the reporters are extremely happy because last time there was 8 phases, and this time it's going to happen in 2 phases. So the first reaction that I'm picking from all the ground reporters...
Last election, Sabya and I covered the same West Bengal election, and trust me, we were like...
So the reporters are happy, and on ground, see, whether it is the Trinamool Congress, whether it is the Bharatiya Janata Party, in fact, the one-on-one meeting that the CEC had when it was in West Bengal with the BJP, with the Trinamool Congress, with the CPIM, with the Congress Party, all of these parties suggested that the poll should happen between 1 or 2 phases. So that's the reason why we are seeing that CEC announced today that the poll is going to happen in 2 phases. And see, for Mamata Banerjee, she right before the poll dates were announced, she announced major said that the Purohits and other people in the state are going to get an increased amount, and also the state government-run employees are going to get their DS. So from Trinamool Congress point of view, they have been fighting against the central government and the CEC regarding the SIR. They have reached out to the Supreme Court. For BJP, in fact, it's going to be tough because still now BJP does not have a proper face as far as the state of West Bengal is concerned. Nobody is there in the Bharatiya Janata Party who can take heads-on against Mamata Banerjee, and that is the reason why we have seen in after 2021 as well with the BJP, a lot of their members shifting to Trinamool Congress. And this time around, the major point which the ECI had been highlighting regarding the Ghuspetia, which we have seen during the Bihar polls as well. And that time also, the ECI could not come out with the exact numbers. And this time around with the West Bengal, the ECI has not able to put out the exact number of infiltrators that they have tracked down during the SIR process.
I'm going to shift things back to the south again. Gautam, another thing that's interesting to note here is that Puducherry goes to polls before Chennai, before Tamil Nadu does it. That means, and also interesting because Puducherry's assembly term ends in June and Tamil Nadu's assembly term ends in May, and yet you have Puducherry going to polls before Tamil Nadu. Please unmute yourself, Gautam.
Yes, Krishna, it is quite an anomaly, isn't it, to see that a couple of months, they still have about a couple of months for the term to end, but still it will go to election. But we have seen that a possibility of this happening because it is the union territory, and it will be quite interesting because it gives an opportunity for the parties to gauge the mood of the people. Because keep in mind that Puducherry and Tamil Nadu, while they are union territory and state, they are neighbors right now, and that is a state where NDA is currently in power, and they will be pushing to retain it as well. But what is interesting to note is that it gives the political parties a chance to actually understand the voters' pulse, because the issues that both the union territory and the state are quite similar in some ways, especially in the urban local pockets over there. But given the kind of divide that we're seeing between the allies of the opposition there, it's really difficult for them to put a strong contest in for the NDA, and they seem to be really capitalizing on this aspect of it. And as of now, it does look like the NDA does have an upper hand in this election for Puducherry, Krishna.
Nikhil, Brijesh, this side, what do you make of Assam? Because it's a very keen contest between the Congress party and the Bharatiya Janata Party, with all kind of allegations, from Gaurav Gogoi being a Pakistani agent, or his wife being spoken in same terms, and also, the death of the iconic pop star there. And what do you make of the allegations which are being leveled against Gaurav Gogoi? And do you seriously think that this time BJP, the Congress party, has a chance as far as election is in Assam is concerned?
Gautam, is that for me?
Yeah, that was to you.
I feel the Election Commission's role in Assam would be quite critical because so far you have Hemanta leveling allegations against Gaurav Gogoi's wife is concerned. I sincerely believe that these sort of allegations need to be checked by the regulatory body, which in this case is the Election Commission. Nobody can come in and level all sorts of allegations without an iota of proof. Let's remember that it is the same chief minister who about 1 or 2 years ago said that Rahul Gandhi was not in the state in the Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra, and it was a body double only for never to come out with any proof. And similarly, there's another issue which I believe the Election Commission has evaded from answering in the press conference, that what happens to these reveries or the unconditional direct benefit transfers? Will the transfers be stopped while the model code of conduct is going on, or will they be allowed to continue, or will they be allowed to continue in a selective manner, that in one state they'll be allowed, but in another state they may not be allowed? These are important questions, and I feel that so far as Assam is concerned, the role of the Election Commission and how level a playing field it is would largely depend on would largely contribute to the performance of the Congress party and the BJP in the state of Assam.
Anurag, just one question I would want to ask you is, if you talk about West Bengal, Sabya was talking about lack of a face as far as BJP is concerned. And usually the poll is kind of being seen as Mamata Banerjee versus Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And, she's the local face. What do you think is going to, will this election, assembly election, be any different from the last assembly election? Or do you think that the BJP has been able to penetrate and this time results might show some sort of surprise?
See, to answer that, firstly, we have to take an account the last Lok Sabha election. If you see, the last Lok Sabha election, BJP performed a bit bad, which they did perform well in the last Vidhan Sabha election. But if you see the Vidhan Sabha election, last Vidhan Sabha election and Lok Sabha election, the number of seats and the percentage of vote of BJP has been decreased. Since BJP has no prominent face in West Bengal and they don't go on vote on a face of West Bengal, they just go on vote on the face of Narendra Modi. And also that there are many important factors that have affected, the vote and the pattern of voting in West Bengal, such as the schemes which center has been delayed, the fund allocation of funds which center has stopped, and so many, so many accusations and so many on-ground realities which have affected the people of West Bengal. And the way how Mamata Banerjee has stood beside the people of West Bengal during the SIR and when there was a panic in SIR, and that she appeared in the Supreme Court by her own, she argued with the, she argued in front of the Chief Justice. So that obviously won many hearts in West Bengal. And I guess the BJP's agenda and BJP's propaganda, which they follow in the other states such as Uttar Pradesh or many other states, that is not going to work in West Bengal, and BJP is obviously going to lose and Trinamool Congress is going to win.
Stay with us. Let's quickly listen to some of the reactions coming in. We have Kunal Ghosh of the TMC. Let's listen to what he had to say.
चुनाव का जो अनाउंसमेंट हुआ 2 चरण में, उसके ऊपर अभी कोई कमेंट यहाँ से नहीं करूँगा क्योंकि हमारा लीडरशिप वो एनालाइज कर रहा है। लेकिन ये कितने दिन में होगा तो वो अलग बात है। अल्टीमेट बात है ममता दीदी का लीडरशिप में तृणमूल कांग्रेस वापस फिर आ रहे हैं 4th टाइम के लिए। तो लास्ट टाइम क्या हुआ था, वो कोरोना टाइम था, वहाँ पर हम लोग बोल रहे थे कम करो, और वो लोग और करो 8 दफा में कर दिए थे। क्या सोचा था 8 दफा में क्या अलग इम्पैक्ट होगा? तो हार गए बुरी तरह से। इस बार उन लोग ही बोल रहा है कम करो। अरे भाई, बंगाल का मंगल करो, बंगाल तुमको मंगल करेगा। अब बंगाल को कोई मंगल नहीं किया, बंगाल तुमको रिजेक्ट करेगा। तो इससे वो 8 से 2 हो गया है दफा, और उसका सीट 77 से 27 हो जाएगा।
Videsh, I think we have the headline from this press conference already. I think, I know what the newspapers tomorrow first thing are going to scream. It is this entire, what is going to, the reaction that the West Bengal, the people of West Bengal, the politicians of West Bengal are going to give to this change in phases of polling from 8 to just 2.
Well, it will be, and because it's not like previously the election was being held in 4 phases or 3 phases, and all of a sudden it was taken to 8 phases. In the last 3 to 4 assembly elections, the elections were being held in 6 phases, then 8 phases, during the COVID time, and then after that, all of a sudden from 6 to 8 to 2, it's definitely a sharp downturn. But the fact of the matter is that yes, it's going to be a very, very keenly contested election. We saw a sample of it yesterday only. When it was a pitched battle between Trinamool Congress and Bharatiya Janata Party, and we saw, the MP being attacked, and also, just before the Prime Minister was to make his speech. And I think this is going to be the leitmotif, the most recurring theme as far as election in West Bengal is concerned. Fighting Mamata Banerjee will be completely unlike fighting any other political rivals as far as the BJP is concerned. We saw what happened in 21, because just before that, BJP gave perhaps their career best performance in Lok Sabha in 2019 when they crossed 300 and also won 18 seats in the state of West Bengal, which was unthinkable. But 21 downwards, it's a different story altogether.
Interesting. Brijesh, we were talking about Pinarayi Vijayan being a possible hat-trick man. As far as Kerala is concerned, there's a possible hat-trick in West Bengal. As Sabi Sajay, probably because there's a precedent of, there is a Jyoti Basu who's, had these multiple, successive election victories, that, a hat-trick in West Bengal is not as big a deal as it is a hat-trick in Kerala.
Krishna, in West Bengal, Trinamool already had hat-trick. This is for the 4th time. if it happens.
So they're eyeing for Jyoti Babu's record.
Okay. So then, will it be a record-breaking elections, Sabyasachi? How much, the question is not whether there is anti-incumbency or not. There is anti-incumbency very clearly. How much anti-incumbency? What could you feel while you were there in Kolkata?
Well, Krishna, you need to understand that yes, there are several serious allegations against the Trinamool Congress, but there are no allegations against Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. And what Mamata Banerjee has mastered is the art of theatrics. Now, we have seen that how she ended the 34 years rule of left in the state of West Bengal. She chose the same spot to carry out her dharna against the SIR process. She was on strike for 5 consecutive days, sitting on the same location. She also decided to bring in a no confidence motion inside the parliament against CEC Gyanesh Kumar. So definitely BJP has to battle a lot of things, not only just the Trinamool Congress, but also the narratives and the theatrics that we have seen on ground by Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, the connection that she has on ground with the women voters, Krishna. So it's going to be a very uphill task for the Bharatiya Janata Party. The BJP is going back to their 2019 module, where they were successful in winning successful in winning 18 Lok Sabha seats. So the same pattern the BJP is adopting this time around, where they are identifying the areas where the core BJP voters are there, and that is the reason why Nitin Nabin, after he was chosen to be the next Bharatiya Janata president, he went to Kolkata, but he did not hold any meeting in Kolkata, but rather he chose the other districts in the state of West Bengal to carry out the meetings with the grassroots level. So the BJP will have an uphill task this time as well, because comparatively to what we have seen in 2021, where BJP was riding on a high performance in 2019 Lok Sabha polls, but in the last Lok Sabha polls, the BJP has not performed well. So clearly, as far as the unit is concerned, there's a lot of discussions going on at grassroots level. The BJP is completely no match as far as the Trinamool Congress is concerned.
Nikhil Jain, it's a situation where it's difficult to understand how is it possible this woman keeps going and going, and the opposition seems to be weakening and weakening with every possible election.
I think, Krishna, that's the thing, that the opposition in the state right now in West Bengal, BJP, does not really have a strong leader forward. And the best person that they have is actually an import from the TMC, who's Suvendu Adhikari. So I don't think that sort of a message bodes very well with the voters, that the opposition doesn't really have a face, while you have a Mamata Banerjee, who's a very strong face in the state and also somewhat of a national leader. That, let's not forget that she has been eyeing for the chair of the Prime Minister in one way or the other. A party has been propping that up. And I think all of that does increase the credibility of a leader with the voters in a state. That being said, I would also like to point out one important thing that I feel is necessary, that if you look at Prime Minister Modi's ability to be a vote catcher for the BJP, I think that is sharply declined in the past 2 years. Starting with the Lok Sabha elections in 2024, where the Mahavikas Aghadi, the opposition alliance, the India Alliance seats, were higher than the Prime Minister's tally, than the BJP's tally, NDA's tally in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections in Maharashtra. But when the same state goes to poll in the assembly elections, and the face is put forth of Devendra Fadnavis and Eknath Shinde, the BJP NDA manages to do better. Even in Bihar, if you might remember, 2 months before the polling, they were willing to sideline Nitish Kumar, but around the last fag end of the polling, 2-3 weeks before the polling, they had to insert back Nitish Kumar. They had to give him that first, primacy. They had to call that, yes, he'll be our chief minister face. So I think this is also something that's going to play out in these set of elections, because if you might remember, in 2021, when the election commission announced 8 phases of polling in West Bengal, one of the primary criticism of opposition across the board was that the election commission has done that so as for the prime minister to carry out more rallies. Perhaps even the BJP now understands that it's best if the prime minister doesn't carry out as many rallies as he did 3 years ago or 5 years ago. And I think all of this is going to play out in all these 5 states right now.
Anurag Singh, Dikshit, I want your take before we wrap things up, because the counting is going to take place. The results are going to, May 4th is the date that we're all looking forward to. That's when the destinies of all these states will be delivered.
Yeah, as we know, 4th May is the day of counting and the result declaring of result in West Bengal. it can be almost seen as if you can ask your reporters and your your members who are present in West Bengal, the wave is already with the Trinamool Congress and with Mamata Banerjee, and as what we can say is that Mamata Banerjee is coming to the coming to the power for the fourth time, and maybe with a more bigger margin and maybe with a more bigger amount of seats.
All right, Vijayji, before we wrap things up, I want your thoughts as well. When you say keenly contested elections, you can't take a single state out at this stage. All of them are, including Assam for that matter.
I think, if you look at the state-wise, Assam has, BJP has an edge in Assam, for sure, but so does Mamata Banerjee has in West Bengal. She has a very clear advantage. Election is a very tricky situation to, to hazard a guess, but she has a good lead as far as West Bengal is concerned. In state of Kerala, I would say that, if you ask me, UDF seems to be on the bounce back, and it'll be interesting to see, the numbers they score. But this election will also be very, very crucial for Congress party, whether they are able to, what kind of scores they are able to get as far as Assam is concerned, what will be their performance in the state of West Bengal is concerned, because, that they also are a player, not that big a player, but they are a player. And their performance in Kerala and Tamil Nadu also, because they are also having a running feud in the state of Tamil Nadu. So all these questions are also equally applicable to the Congress party as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Great point over there. In that sense, Gautam, quickly, Congress fighting for relevance in both Kerala and Tamil Nadu.
Absolutely. It does seem to be a battle of survival for the Congress, especially more so in Kerala than it is, because they are a junior partner in the Secular Progressive Alliance with the DMK in Tamil Nadu. But in Kerala, if they allow Pinarayi Vijayan to get a third consecutive term, it will be a disaster right now. And keep in mind that right now, with internal rumblings, they don't really have a CM face here as well. And there was a strong indication that in 2021 elections itself, there was severe anti-incumbency against the Pinarayi government, and there were allegations of corruption. His daughter was also in the middle of a scam or scandal or an accused there as well. But still, none of this mattered. They comfortably secured a 45% plus vote share then. And that is the risk that Congress faces right now. While it's also fighting with the LDF, they have to be very wary of the BJP and the NDA as well to not be relegated to the third spot in Kerala. And in the meantime, also make sure that, they can't really give the kind of promises that they have been doing in Karnataka and Telangana, where the guarantee schemes have been working so well. But they recognize that that is not the way to work in Kerala, which actually has a lot of regional pride. And that is the way they're going about it here, Krishna.
Fair enough. We'll leave it at that. Nikhil Jain, political analyst, Anurag Singh, Dikshit, political analyst. Thank you both of you for taking time out to be with us. As of my colleagues, Sabyasachi Roy and Gautam Shankar, and of course, our input editor, Brijesh Pandey, joining us live here in the studio. And with that, it's a wrap here from our side. Thank you so much for watching. We'll leave you with those words of the Chief Election Commissioner, Gyanesh Kumar, announcing the dates for all of the 5 upcoming elections. Thank you so much for watching.
All 126 assembly constituencies for Assam, the polling shall be just in one phase, and the polling shall take place on 9th of April, Thursday, 2026. The counting shall be on 4th of May. All 140 assembly constituencies of Kerala shall also go for polling on 9th April, that is Thursday, and counting shall be on the same day, that is 4th May 2026. Puducherry also will go along with Assam and Kerala. The date of poll is 9th April, and the counting will be 4th of May. Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu, all 234 assembly constituencies will go for poll on 23rd of April in one phase, and the counting shall be on the same day for all the 5 states/UT, that is 4th of May 2026. West Bengal. West Bengal, the 294 assembly constituencies, the polling shall be held in 2 phases. In the first phase, 152, and the second phase, 142. The date of poll shall be 23rd of April and 29th of April. And the counting shall be together for all, that is 4th of May, 2026.